he's doing it, using the wrong words. You always say that. You don't want to do that. You want to kind of refrain back from those words. You follow what I'm saying? Number 5, this is what injures him. Hold him responsible for your emotional well-being. Holding him responsible for your emotional well-being. Now listen to this. He's the reason you feel bad today, and every other day you feel bad. So make sure he knows it's his fault. And you don't have to tell him. Just subtly just be in a bad mood towards him without releasing him from guilt. He'll take the hint and own the responsibility. He will think it's his fault, even if it's not his fault. What is that? That happens when you hold him responsible for your emotional well-being. Wow. Should you hold anybody responsible for your emotional well-being? I like the way Taffy says. She says, I am not responsible for how you feel. Wow. And here's the 6th one. Complain about what you don't have or get to do. You injure your husband and you don't even know it because you complain about what you don't have or what you don't get to do. So here's a little note, and I don't know why I made this a while back, but here's a note I put by this. He has a desire to fix things. He wants to be a provider. Every man does. Some attempt to live it out and some don't. But when he's trying, doing the best he can, and yet he feels he isn't measuring up, he is then crushed by the complaining. And when you're always commenting on what the other women have that you don't have, he carries the blame, even if you're not intending it to be his fault or to blame him. You're not intending to blame him. So think about this. Complaining about what you don't have or get to do, it really resurrects the inferiority complex. And when you feel inferior, you feel like you don't matter. You feel like you don't measure up. You feel like you fall short. And here's the last one. That's my dog. Don't appreciate his efforts. Don't appreciate his efforts. Here's a note I made of that. You want to injure a man. Here's the thing you do. Refuse to appreciate the things that he feels he does well. You want to injure him? Just don't appreciate the things he feels like he does well. Now, it could be work, it could be a hobby, a trait, but he feels part of his identity in the things that he does. And so when you don't find them as valuable as he does, his ego is now bruised and it affects him and it injures him. So I want you to think about that, and I'm going to let you go now, and then we're going to talk about the next time we get together. We're going to talk about the 7 ways a husband injures a wife and he doesn't know it. See, the reality is a man's ego is self-confidence and a sense of worth. It's greatly tied to his wife. Yeah, believe it or not. And just as a woman is to her husband, we can be fragile people, sometimes more than others. And it's important to see now the other side. How does the wife feel like she's been injured by the husband? And what is the husband doing over and over again to the wife? And she's being injured over and over again. You don't want to miss the next segment.